Elin.
Sydney.
Lucy Swing. Beginner Blues, Lesson 3.
Dun, 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 dun.
Cool. Today, our exercise to start for the day was getting comfortable in this blues closed position, okay? And we did an exercise called Look Ma, No Hands, where we got to that closed position, and then we dropped the hands, and now all we have is core-to-core contact. Now this core-to-core contact is my right side to my follow sternum, like so. And we just practiced weight shifts and slow steps, and for the adventurous, turns. Okay? Now, this ended up being an exaggeration of what we really want when we're in that blues closed position, but the idea was for neither lead or follow to shy away from close contact. Okay? So, we moved from there onto rhythm circles, which, starting in blues closed, look like this. Okay? So, in order to make that movement comfortable, here's how it is. So, we're on the same side, okay? And then, as a lead, with my left foot, I step forward and through my partner, okay? Like so. If I try to step around my partner, we end up getting this weird teetering motion, which at faster speeds can get uncomfortable, okay? And our right feet share an axis, they don't move, whereas our left feet do most of the moving, like so. Okay, what else?
The faster it gets, the lower you kind of want to sink, not necessarily saying you want to be extremely bent, but if it's super fast, it helps to just bend your knees a little bit more. That lowers your center of gravity, makes it easier to turn.
As well, at higher speeds, that back arm will tone up a bit, so you'll be asking for a little more from your follow, but it's not a death grip. You just want enough to kind of be a guideline for your follow so she doesn't fly off into nowhere. Okay? In order to get out of that, the simplest way is to just slow that pace down and dissipate that energy. However, we also showed you another exit. Exit into side by side, which takes us full circle back into lesson 1. Okay? That exit looks as so. So while we're stepping around, leads. When I step on my left foot, I start opening my back arm so that since my follow is maintaining that spin energy, she's going to spin open, and then we can simply back out of it.
It's a lot like if you're doing Lindy or 6 count, that tuck turn open of the arm side hook. And our challenge to you was to not do a rock step. You can, if that's what you're leading, but our challenge to you is to either walk backwards out of it or walk forwards.
So full speed looks like this. Right, left, right, back, back. Okay, cool. From there, we moved on to the next section, which were drags. And drags look like this. So we're in blues closed. Make sure we're on the same side, and then drag. Okay? So, for leads, a drag is essentially a backwards lunge. So, to get all my weight is on that back foot, and then as I take that step, I shift all that weight onto the back foot. Okay? Additionally, that upper body moves in opposition. So if I'm stepping back with my left shoulder is forward, and again, left forward, right forward. Okay? The entrance for that, if this is my normal kind of dancing posture, then my drag takes me lower. And as I'm lower, I maintain that height throughout the drag.
Follows, when you're doing this drag, as we said, the body is in opposition. So when your right leg goes forward, then your right arm should be going back. You're just doing steps, essentially. It's a little lunge. So you lunge forward, and forwards, and forwards. At any point, you should have your own weight, unless your lead is asking for all of your weight. And you want to make sure that you're not understepping so that your knee shoots over your foot. That will cause a lot of imbalance. So if you want to lunge, make sure that you end up with this nice knee over your ankle and it's right over your foot as opposed to shooting forwards.
Yeah, and that also avoids the problem of a follow accidentally stepping forward too far. So if she has her feet aligned with her core, then there's no way that her knee will hit me, since our cores are connected. Cool. Right, how to get out of it. So the exit for this is simple. Right now I have all my weight on my back foot. I'm going to come up and shift my weight back onto my right foot lead. Cool. The leg flourish. Okay, so from here we built on drags by fancy things you can do in drags. So we're in this drag position, and then up, and down. Okay? The idea of leads is that while we're in this lunge position with the left foot back, I'm creating a platform with the right side of my body, right? So that platform is what supports my follow in this move. So I will sink down, that's the prep for it, lower than my already drag position. And then I will springboard my follow up, okay? So solo, it looks like prep, and then my whole body moves up, like pop, okay?
This is different from a hip nudge and a pelvic thrust.
Yeah.
Don't do those.
I'm using my core and really my whole body to send her up and then cushion her down. Okay, that's very important. If she's up, I'm going to frame up with my arms and my core in order to cushion her descent.
Yes. So follows, there is a moment there where your lead has your weight because you obviously don't have enough contact to stay up there. And then that cushion is going to help you find your weight again. So once you get down there, you should have your own weight.
Okay.
Following.
Right, so the next thing, fancy thing we can do out of drags is, and then dip.
Nice little dip.
Okay. So the idea for leads is that we are very simply turning a backwards lunge into a forwards lunge. Okay? You'll notice that my feet don't really move from where they are. I'm just shifting that.
Follows, you're turning a forwards lunge into a backwards lunge. Now I'm going to show you from this direction. When I'm in that forward lunge, when I turn, I bring this knee in so that my knees are together. This avoids that awkward knee knocking thing that can happen when your lead is turning at the same time as you. So then your lunge, backward lunge position is here. You still have all of your weight. Unless he's asking for all of your weight again, you still have it all. And generally in this mini dip, you shouldn't be giving him all your weight anyway.
Okay? So important note for this, and while you're doing drags at all, leads and follows, is that you need to keep your back straight. Okay? If you start leaning, then you start throwing you and your partner off balance. And this is especially true in this dip. Notice how we maintain a good straight posture throughout. Okay? If I don't, and if I in fact lean into this dip, then I'm going to kind of send my follow in a really wide arc.
And it feels super awkward, so.
Cool. How to get out of that. So, the exit for this dip is we're going to start pivoting back the way we came, but as we are kind of 90 degrees from where we were in the dip, we gather our weight under us.
Nice little stand up. Yeah.
Cool. And then the last thing that we did was kind of combining the last two things that we learned, right? So we have the drags, we have this leg flourish, and then we have the dip. So then we demonstrated how you could put all those things together. In the drag, up, and dip. Okay? Now this is different from just making this a two-step process of kick, down, and then dip, because I'm initiating that dip as as she's coming down from that kick. So leads, you will have your follows wait for this.
Yes, so as Elin said in the first process, when you have just the flick and then the dip, follows, you have your weight the entire time. With this one, because it's in that up portion that pivot starts to happen, a lot of your weight is now falling quite quickly. And you are giving your lead your trust so that he will catch you. Don't worry, he will.
So please be very sure that that is in fact what you're asking for, and don't commit to something that you're not prepared to, well, catch.
Essentially.
Cool.
All right. Great class, everyone.
That's all for this week. See you next week.